The White House is pumping out spin so dangerously diluted on Biden's latest brain freeze that it would make Kim Jong-un blush. For the third time in a week, Joe Biden froze in public.
Look at him. Look at him.
Seen gazing motionless at the crowd during a glitzy Hollywood campaign fundraiser in Los Angeles Saturday night. Forcing his former boss, Barack Obama, to gingerly lead the old man off the stage like it was bedtime.
Look at that face. It's the face of a child.
How much longer are they gonna keep up this facade? That's what I want to know.
He told me, he said, I know you're getting old. We're going to get Michelle in there.
The White House and Democrats don't want you to believe your own eyes.
Right.
They're aggressively pushing back on the notion that our dear leader would ever mentally slip in public by calling it cheap fakes.
Please.
Something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. We're seeing these deep fakes. These manipulated videos, and it is again done
manipulated.
Let's not forget, President Obama, President Biden have a relationship.
He paused.
They are friends.
What does
They're
that have to do with anything?
to each other, and I think
how in the Sam Hill can she even formulate her two lips to even say that? That's what I don't understand. What planet are you on? What year? What time? I mean, what planet are you on right now? Are you under some mind-altering drug that's got your brain cells twisted, and are you in a trance? I don't get it.
That's the whole left campaign is run how she thinks.
Clearly,
that's the whole left. How the whole left is ran.
We have seen this on multiple instances, and now they want you to believe something different from what you can see and evaluate with your own two eyes.
Jordan.
Come on.
That's the left.
This is just simply crazy.
Girl can go in the men's bathroom, man go in the bathroom. There should be nothing wrong with that. To the left. Look at her. That's how the left runs.
How in the world is she able? I'm glad I don't have her job because I couldn't do it.
that's what you saw. Okay, let's talk about Juneteenth. Just because you're standing up listening to music and not dancing, that is not a health issue. That is just not a health issue.
Biden's mounting cognitive lapses are causing the media to lower their expectations for his debate.
He gone, y'all. He gone. He gone.
The first presidential debate is set for June 27th. It already feels like the bar that is set for Biden to clear is so much substantially higher than the one Trump has to clear, which is literally, is he alive? Is he standing? Are the words coming out of his mouth?
Right. Literally.
Martha, it's so unfair to have these high expectations of Joe Biden. I mean, when, according to MSNBC, he normally, Donald Trump is literally, it's questionable whether he's alive, whether he's standing, whether he can get a sentence out. Do you believe your lying eyes or not?
I mean, that video is very telling. And the thing is, it's interesting because Britt Hume said that he thought that probably the Biden folks were annoyed because Obama, former President Obama, reached over and put his hand on top of his hand, and then, the hand on the back, that maybe he could have made it look a little bit better. But what happens is when he turns and walks, he's still not kind of shaking out of it. You know what I mean? It's not like you get a little bit lost in thought and he's absorbing the crowd. But then you go, okay, and you turn around and walk away in a lit up, cognizant way. This is a big event. This continues to be a problem. I kind of feel bad at this point for Queen Jean-Pierre that she has to make up these things about deep fakes.
Exactly. That's how I feel. How is this lady even able to get out here and just make up some stuff? I mean, how is she, when they give her this information, they tell her to go out here and say this, or they talk to her to say this. What is she thinking in her mind?
Yo, this is wild.
It's clear. The man is froze. He is not waving. He's not doing
these
anything.
Things about deep fakes and manipulated video. Now, I understand in the parachute video there was something going on the other side that he turned to look at. But if this was
look what everybody else was and where he was. Everybody was.
And we
They're
see
looking
it in the
at
polls
him.
that people don't feel confident. They're worried about
Yeah,
his
she have to
age,
go out,
and
though.
it's pretty clear. But I would love to know what the vibe is like between the Obama camp and the Biden camp today, because that didn't look good.
Yeah,
Oh,
and, you
yeah.
know, Jesse, as Martha says, we've seen it all before. I mean, you know, last week, where was he? He was at the G7, and the Prime Minister of Italy had to literally drag him away from his watching somebody jumping out of the sky or whatever it was.
He's been dragged away by the Easter Bunny, Judge. He's been dragged away by Jill, Kamala, Barack, the Italian bird. Now everybody is just dragging the man off the stage. If he doesn't know where he's going, how can he tell the country where to go? He keeps on saying, watch me, and it's getting harder to watch. He has special shoes. He has a machine that he needs to breathe at night. He has a note card that says, I am Joe Biden.
Stop it.
And now we're getting this thing that this is a deep fake. Republicans don't need deep fakes.
Yo.
We don't need dossiers. We don't need edited videos. We don't need the CIA. We just need to point a camera at Joe Biden. That's it. Point a camera at the prices. Point a camera at the border. They keep on saying this election's about democracy. It's about reality. This is about reality versus democracy. And their campaign now on the left is, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Oh, my
The Trump
gosh.
crime family is going to lock up their political opponents, has broken the border, is defunding the police, and is barely alive, can barely talk. That kind of projection, that only works on low information voters. That only fires up the hyper-partisans
And Barack
on the
was
left.
waiting.
I saw a poll the other day, the expectations for Joe Biden, half the country, Judge, thinks the man's going to wander the wrong way off the debate stage. That's how low. I shouldn't even say that because it's already too low. But you now have a poll out in Iowa. Donald Trump is beating Joe Biden by 18 points. What does that mean for Michigan, Wisconsin? This thing looks bad, and now they're talking about swapping Hillary in if he bombs in this debate.
Well, you know what, Harold? Nobody wants to see the president fail, but the whole idea
True.
that, you know, they're out there saying this election is not about age. Joe and the other guy are about the same age.
Still.
Even for the debate, as Jesse's saying,
Different spirits.
They're going to be seated. We don't even get to see them walk in. They'll be
Different
seated
minds.
so that, you know, there's one less obstacle to worry about for Biden.
Happy belated Father's Day to everybody watching, to
Thank
Jesse
you.
and good to be back around the table.
Really good.
I'd say a couple of things. On the debate, this will be the most watched, obviously, political exercise.
Sure will.
Notwithstanding the great numbers we all have around the table and everyone's respective shows in the history of television. This will have Super Bowl-like numbers. And even if it doesn't reach that crescendo,
wait to
who they're
watch
going to
that.
reach are those percentage of voters that we talk about, the small group of voters, 300,000 or so, maybe a little less, a little more in 6 states, who ultimately have decided the last 3 or 4 election cycles. And as a result of that, I think both sides are trying their hardest to disqualify the other candidate. And it's only going to get worse. The language, the rhetoric, the intensity of the rhetoric, and sometimes the ridiculousness of the rhetoric will only, on both sides, will ramp up. Largely because that's the way you get after those voters, and that's the way you show that 300,000 that this guy should not be the next president of the United States again. 3, the debate. I can't wait for the tough, direct questions designed to elicit real answers. Where do you stand on the border? Why haven't you done more on the border? Why did you call your party members and ask them to vote against a negotiated settlement around the border?
Yeah.
Should we do more in Israel? Should we do more for Israel or less for Israel? Do you believe, as we look at Supreme Court nominees over the next 3 or 4 years, will you have a litmus test? And what will you do on taxes? Both of these candidates will have an opportunity to share exactly where they stand. And not only will those 300,000, 400,000, or 250,000 independent voters who likely will decide this election in 6 states be listening, but the tens, if not hundreds of millions of us, if that mattered, maybe a billion around the world, or hundreds of millions around the world, who want to know where the leader of the free world, the next leader of the free world, may stand on issues that impact them and impact us as a nation. So I'm looking forward to June 27th as much as anybody.
You know, Greg, they talk about, Karine Jean-Pierre talks about cheap fakes, deep fakes, manipulating the videos to make Joe look bad. What's your reaction to that?
Well, we can see it with our own eyes and hear it with our own ears. And they might.
See, and that's the problem I have with the left, and that's why I'm no longer a Democrat. That's the whole thing. It's even though it's in front of your face, what y'all seeing is they looking like, hey, y'all ain't seeing the real thing, even though it's right there in your face. They be like, oh, it's fake, y'all.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a
fake.
movie. It's not
fake, y'all.
real.
All the girls
Come
can go in the bathroom
It's
with the boys.
make-believe.
This fake. This ain't.
This is make believe. I mean, come on, please. And Obama didn't even reach out to get him right away. You see where he is doing his own thing, waving to the people, doing all this. And he realizes, I'm sure in his peripheral, that Joe is froze. So he is like, okay, let me go on and help you, buddy. So you ain't just standing here while the people walking out in the same space.
Because I'm sure it was supposed to be that wave about a second or two and go off, because they go off Google with it. But they're like, no, we don't. Why are you still standing there? We only do this for 2 seconds wave. But he's standing there like he's supposed to get a 10-minute standing ovation. And then why is his arms buckled? Why?
He looks blank, like he absolutely is not there in that moment.
Arms, baby.
I just don't understand.
Mock people for suspecting there might be some fraud in an election.
They're like, how many times they gonna wave?
That one can't see, that is not transparent, and they laugh at anybody who suspects that there might be something off somewhere. Here we can see it with our own eyes and hear it with our own ears, and they're telling us, no, it's not true. That's manipulated. I would call them Biden deniers. They are Biden deniers.
They know
and
that.
I do agree that this debate is incredibly
they're
important,
aware.
Harold, and it's good to see you, and happy Father's Day. But if you feel that it is that important and vital, why would you put up a feeble, deteriorating man? I mean, what they're trying to do right now, the current defense, is to make Joe a sympathetic character. You're picking on him if you talk about his age or his infirmary or whatever you want to call it.
He gone.
The true cruelty isn't the criticism of Joe being out there. The true cruelty is putting Joe out there. So
He's supposed to be looking at this thing over here in front of them. Clearly, the social cues are everybody in your group is looking faced forward. And here you are, la 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 la.
He just need ice. Just give him an ice cream. Please give him ice cream. Bless this man with ice cream, because he looked like he would be in perfect position to eat ice cream right then.
Squirrel.
Don't enjoy. Could you see him?
I just cannot.
Yo, this is wild.
Please
seeing this.
stop the
I've never
foolery.
seen anything like this in my life.
Stop.
So, if everybody's saying, oh, it's wrong, you're the guys behind it. You are the guys behind it. It's like that people criticizing Trump for
This was even worse, though, that event.
Criticizing Milwaukee's crime and poverty problem. As if that's worse than the thing he's criticizing.
Where is he?
No, it's not. Joe is a symbol of national disrepair. If you look at America right now, it's like that charming house that was on the corner, well-manicured hedges, white picket fence, fresh paint, but it has fallen into disrepair because the person living in there became isolated, shut in, mentally decimated, and he let the house fall to ruins. That's what America feels like. I think what people feel is profound neglect, because this White House is not connected to the American people. They swim in luxury beliefs. People are getting murdered by illegal aliens, but that takes a back seat to trans rights and climate change.
That's what I say.
The left has ignored Biden's failings, and they expect us to ignore them too, believing that he has 4.5 more years.
Child, please.
He doesn't have 4.5 more months.
Months.
I'm sorry. Jimmy Carter was
Right.
probably watching and going, what's that guy doing up there? It's not good. It's not good. I think if you believe that Trump is a danger to society, you are morally obligated to put a candidate up there that can win and a candidate that can function. They're not doing that, which again
Exactly.
leads me to believe, what are they
Exactly.
doing? So that's it.
Well said. Coming up, Joe Biden's reckless open border takes another innocent American life.
Wow, she's a pretty
Police
girl.
charging an illegal immigrant with the murder of a mother of 5.
Oh, I don't
Wow.
want to hear about that.
That's sad.
I don't want to hear
so
about that.
sad. And I've seen a couple of other things come up in my timeline too. But okay, so how do you even live with yourself at night? You sleep. How do you even look yourself in the mirror? I'm talking about Jean, whatever,
She
Pierre.
paid to talk like that.
How does she and I just visualize her being behind the scenes and they're telling her what it is she's got to say, and she's like, okay, I can do this.
We need you to lie good, John.
Okay.
Good.
I gotta pay my bills.
This
person isn't counting on me. His term is almost up. He's not gonna have another term. Okay, suck it up.
I could
suck
see
it up,
that.
Jean. Suck it up, Jean. You can do this, girl. Get out here, and there she goes. I mean, she has to do something like that.
I could see that in real life.
She has to be able to give herself some self-talk, because anybody in their right frame of mind who operates
see that
in truth
happening
on a daily basis and know the sun is yellow, the sky is blue, the water in the ocean is blue, and the grass is green. Come on now. It's getting down to that. It's really getting down to that.
Why when you said that, why I'm just visualizing her trying to give herself all this big pep talk in the corner.
But I have been visualizing this since way back. When the longer she's at, the more she comes out, and she has to negate the facts and try to make it be something other than what we know it really is. She has to be back there telling herself that, okay, snap out of it. You know what it is. This is your job. I'm not quitting. I've got to pay my bills. Let me get out here and do it and do and make it do.
I take care of my sister.
Make it do what it don't, but I'll make it do what it do.
I take care of everybody.
Because this is absolutely insane. So whatever it is, I don't know if it's the medication that he's taking that's making him seem like he froze. But apparently, I would just think by now, if it is the medication, I do not know, then why haven't they given him something else to help relax him or ease or not make him seem as stiff? I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just mentally where he is, but it has to be something. It looks like something stronger has him in a trance, and I don't know if that's one of the signs of dementia.
Got him someone that Trimadol.
But my dad had dementia, and he wasn't like that. He was never froze or stuck in a trance. He was frozen in his chair, meaning he didn't want to get up out that chair to do anything, but he could communicate with you and talk to you, turn his head and all of that. I mean, he moved. So I don't know. I'm going to go and look this up on the DSM-5 to see is that one of the signs of dementia, because this is absolutely
the leader of the free world
insane.
cannot be in having dementia.
No, I'm sorry. He's just it's time for him to give it up.
It's time to let
and
it
he's
go.
probably ready. Now for the debate, we have got to. Y'all, let us know in the comment section if you all want us to go live during this debate. And if so, we gotta figure out how to work it out with the technology.
That's gonna be deep.
But I definitely want to go live, because that is going to be so unprecedented. I just
you talking about funny?
I mean, I'm just curious to see these questions. So the questions are going to be pre-prepared, which is totally, whack. They should be able to ask the question, and then you come off the dome with the answer.
I don't know, but I think this is a conversation we need to save for another.
Okay. Yep. Let me not digress.
All right, man. 2024. Be more.
Talk less.
We'll see you on the next one.